Looking at the IMF report,
Yes.
Please, can you help us with a statistical analytical point of view of what was given to our dear country, the Gambia, as per the development in this nation, as we celebrating the 60th Diamond Jubilee?
IMF did not give us any money for the celebration of the 60th Diamond Jubilee. IMF does not finance those kind of fiscal expenditures. Let me tell you, IMF is like a cooperative organization, like USUSU. We call it locally. All members contribute what they call quota to the IMF. And every country borrows from IMF by taking your own quota. So you are using your own savings in the IMF. They give it to you in the form of balance of payment surplus. They don't finance any other projects or program in countries. They give only central banks for balance of payment support.
My name is Edward Francis Dahlia. Edward Francis Dahlia from Askamwe. I saw that the domestic debt is continually increasing.
Yes.
So what are the factors that are driving this?
Yes.
What are the factors that are driving domestic debts to be continuing increasing?
Well, the factors, like I was trying to explain for the past almost 15, 20 minutes or so, as a country, the country needs to develop. The government of the day needs to deliver to the Gambian people. You are seeing roads being built. Recently, the activity is to complete 1,200 kilometers of road. Before that, there were road constructions that were financed partly from foreign sources and also domestic. But let me restrict answering to your question on the 1,200 kilometer of road that His Excellency's government is building. Now, to be able to build all these roads, you need financing. And that's what we are saying. Some of these treasury bills are legacy loans. When they mature and there is no money, the government has to roll over. What that roll over means, that means they issue another set of treasury bills, and then the banks would buy. So that postpones evil days. I just want to assure you, the press and all Gambians, that this high debt that we are all going through is true. We've borrowed to our eyeballs. It's painful for all of us and for everybody, Gambians working for government, not working for government, here in the diaspora. We are all struggling with it. It's us, Gambia. We make up Gambia. So, like I said, it's not an excuse. Most of it is legacy loan. But the current government also have increased on the debt. And that's why we are coming with solutions to say this is not the way to go. The way to go is create less debt and be able to raise private resources and develop our country. And us as civil servants, we are paid to sit in these offices to think creatively, not coming sit there and wherever you are is on autopilot. And we keep on. Yes, please.
We are most privileged, we must say.
Yes.
Thank you for your time and for creating this room.
We are here to serve.
Remittance,
yes,
and depreciation of dollars. Can you give us a justification of how the dollar is depreciating and how remittance is flowing through?
Okay. I think I understand what you are trying to arrive at. Every country's currency, if it is not a fixed exchange rate where the central bank decides on the exchange rate on a daily basis or at every given time, if you have a floating exchange rate, crawling peg, or whatever, other than fixed, the exchange rate that emerges at any particular transaction date depends on supply and demand. Just like rice price, bread price. ice cream price. It depends on supply and demand. Now, remittances that you mentioned is on the supply side. You understand? The 515 million that I said we have in the central bank is coming from the supply side. And then what commercial banks have in their banks, foreign exchange bureaus, MTOs, and even the parallel market, otherwise called the black market, there are foreign currencies there. It's all part of the ecosystem of the Gambia. That is the supply side. And the supply side sources for us remittances, tourism, budget support from IMF and other donors, the little we export. These are the main supply sides of foreign currency into the country. Okay? The demand now, we import a lot of things. The roads that have been built, the cement, the roads, most of the input that goes there are imported. The food that we eat, 275,000 metric tons of rice that we consume annually as Gambians. We produce only 29,000 metric tons. Of course, that has increased recently because of intervention of private sector farmers like, how do you call it, Maro Farms, Dabo, Ja Oil, and others that are producing rice, and our local communities. It has gone up, but the gap still is wide. So we import a lot of rice. For this year alone, we are trying to arrange for GGC for 2025 to import 100,000 metric tons of rice. How do we pay for that? From Pakistan. It's not Dalasi. Pakistan will not take our Dalasi. It's dollar, US dollar. That is a demand. The supply source, I told you, the demand is coming from rice import, sugar import, edible oil import, vehicles that you drive, fuel, medicine, medical equipment. The list is long. Even students you send abroad to pay for their stipend and tuition. It's all demand for foreign currency. Now, that demand and supply, where they meet, is where the price of the Dalasi is determined. You understand? Now, in addition to that, global economic developments, that's why we always mention geopolitical activity. The tension in the Middle East between Israel and Palestine, the Ukraine war, all impact commodity supplies and fuel supply prices. If that tension and risk increases and cost of transportation, price goes up. So you pay more for those goods to come in. So the demand, your demand and cost of the dollar is higher than the supply, the price goes up. America recently, to fight inflation, took some monetary policy decisions, their central bank, which means increasing their interest rate to fight aggregate demand and reduce inflation, just like we did here. But the US economy, that increase in interest rate means investment opportunities for people who have money to invest in US economy and government instruments. And to invest there, you need dollar. The demand for dollar goes up. The dollar appreciates against all international currencies. And even Gambia, that means our currency depreciates. We buy a lot of goods from Senegal, and we have to pay in CFA. So that's why always people are saying CFA bidefa $8 bidan. Because even chili, pepper, cucumber, you see these watermelons for hotels, vegetables, it's all coming from Senegal. And we can produce those things here. But you and I are refusing to go to the farm or to the garden. Even in our backyards, you can grow cabbage, salad, tomatoes, but you are not doing it. I'm not doing it. Somebody else is not doing it. The folks doing it in Senegal, and our gender guys goes and buy and bring, they pay safer there. And we turn around and say, that's a bit of a done. Fanga ame safer. you have to produce something, sell and earn foreign currency. Another reason why the dalasi is under pressure, from southern Senegal, we used to re-export timber through our port to China and other countries. Cashew nuts, when you pass Denton Bridge, you will see the Indian stores there. They'll be dehydrating cashew nuts for re-export. Now, what happened, even during His Excellency President Macky Sall's time, they told Gambia government no timber exports through our port. They stopped that. That's why around Boyam, those economic forces there, when they say timber is not from they pack it. Cashew nuts from Zigansol, they use the sea to Dakar and export it from their country. You know how much foreign currency that has taken out of our economy? $110 million US dollars. It's now zero. So how do we make up for that? And that puts pressure on the foreign exchange market, and that's why the dalasi is under pressure. But with the creative foreign exchange management of the Central Bank of the Gambia, I'm not taking credit for it. It is the staff that are sitting here working for us as senior management who are using their brains to ensure that the reserves that we have and the foreign currency from the remittance that you mentioned, we use it in the most efficient way that we manage to try to balance aggregate demand and supply at any point in time. And that's why we took over foreign currency shipment outside the Gambia from the banks. Central Bank is doing it. Because what our businesses are doing also, they will buy foreign currency at any rate, take it to their banks, ship it out of the country. So what we are doing, program it in such a way that there is foreign currency always in our market. Because if they go and take a foolish decision to buy those things and put it in their banks, and the money is sitting there in their banks, they cannot take it out to replenish their nostrils, that money is still in our economy. If they want to go and buy more foreign exchange, the banks know that there is a limit as to which.